Hello, hi everybody. Aloha. Gonna wait just a couple of moments to see if anybody pops on. There's a couple of reasons why I am doing this right now. I have a lot of new contacts on my personal page, and I figured I'd go ahead and say hi and stop hiding on my personal page from my personal network about the things that I am doing right now, because a lot of people are very confused yet again, and I don't blame you. So I'm here to explain what I've been up to say hello, and to acquaint with the new contacts that have recently joined me, that have recently become friends in the online space. And as you guys are hopping on, please say hello so I know who you are. I really want to get to know more people, because I must have added at least, I don't know, like 300 people over the last maybe 2 years alone, maybe even more. So I really want to get to know you. So please say hello as you're popping on, and as I go ahead and tell you the story and an inspiring message about what I'm up to, about spiritual entrepreneurship, what exactly I do, what has helped me break through, etc. In the meantime, I am going to share this to see if I could share this into a group. But yeah, please say hello. Tell me where you are watching from. How did we become friends? Um, just let me know who you are, and I will let you know what I am all about. I'm going to share this to a couple more spots. Whoever is watching, let me know who it is. And I am about to tell you all sorts of what I've been up to in this crazy spiritual entrepreneurship journey, what I've learned, and also just come out of this closet yet again, like I said, to tell people what I've been up to. In the meantime, give me just one more second. I want to share this to another group, and then I'll send it. Okay. So, to those of you who are new to me, because I have added a bunch of people onto my personal page over the last 2 years, my name is Marina, and hi, it's nice to meet you, because now the Facebook world has become a little less personal on my personal page, and I feel like my messaging and my life has gotten a little more diluted between those of you that I have met in person and those of you that I'm meeting in online communities. For me, my life and business right now is very much about creating connections in the online space, and there's a lot of people that I have talked to more than I've even met in person. So to those of you that do know me, this is kind of like to tell you what the hell I've been up to, and some of the craziest things that I've been posting about, because to you they're probably making zero fucking sense whatsoever. So I'm here to like clear that up. So, and if you're watching the replay, or if you have any questions as I'm hammering off on my story, please let me know. Please stop me, and I will let you know what is this all about. So, who am I? I'm Marina, and to those of you that know me, you can just not listen to this, but I am now a mentor for creative entrepreneurs, specifically in online spaces, who are very much stuck in their head. This is people who are web designers, coaches, consultants, spiritual healers like Reiki and energy workers, manifestation and mindset coaches, etc. So these are specifically people who are very much stuck in their head and are having a hard time springing into action and taking forward momentum in their businesses, because I have been there for the last 2 years. Prior to that, I have worked a variety of jobs. I have been a body worker for the last 5 years, from where I've learned many different modalities that now help me in my spiritual business. And now in my spiritual business, I utilize a variety of different modalities that are energetic, that are logical, strategic. It's a mixture. It's a combination of things that I've learned over the last 2 years. Over the last 2 years, I've been on this journey to begin an online business, and a lot of it has just been like trying and trying and trying and investing into coach after coach to actually get this up and off the ground, because I have not cracked the code between energy and strategy. Because a lot of what happens in these online communities, there are a lot of people that are very intuitive and are very keen and are very sensitive to energy, who are very who like channel. And actually, I recently started channeling. What channeling is basically when you access a super conscious, if you will, part of your brain that you don't access in your everyday life. It's pretty much it's your higher self, your brilliant creativity. To those of you non-spiritual people, to those of you that are spiritual people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So channeling is having access to this information of what I call the spiritual collective internet. And so recently within this world, I have began channeling as I began like coming out of my spiritual closet and actually aiding people with my spiritual gift. It wasn't until 3 months ago that I got paid specifically for my spiritual gift, not my physical one of doing body work. It wasn't until 3 months ago, mind you, after 2 years of trying and after 2 years of learning modality after modality and investing into coach after coach after coach. And my most recent endeavor that has really kind of helped me get up and off the ground on this whole venture. Whoever's saying hi and popping on right now, please let me know. There's a lot of new people in the space that I do not know, and this whole live stream is to acquaint myself with you and vice versa. So my most recent endeavor over the last 2 months, I have been working with an amazing mentor named Lorna Johnson. Most of you know her, and I'm sharing this in Masters of Energy Alchemy. She's the creator and founder of that group anyway. This is on my personal page. And I have learned so many different tactics, sales tactics, and different ways of building a spiritual business in a more masculine way, if you will, of like building it, but also utilizing like the masculine and like brass tactics sales techniques in the online space while selling a spiritual gift that is something intangible. So I've learned that from her, and I've also learned a really amazing modality that shifts people energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically on a very deep-rooted level called shadow alchemy. She is the creator of the modality. However, it is based on Carl Jungian psychology, who was the father of, hey Sherry, good to see you, who was the father of subconscious psychology, which is our thoughts that we don't see in our waking life. And so she created this amazing modality that is a really great starting point for taking audit of your life and getting very specific and very honest about the things that are happening or not happening in your life and placing you into the driver's seat of anything that is or not coming in your life, whether it would be relationships, whether it would be money, whether it would be ideal businesses. This modality has really kind of honed in on placing you into the driver's seat of this. Hey everyone, to those of you that are popping on, please say hello, because people are coming in and out, and I just want to know who's on here so I can kind of tailor my message better. So, because this is on my personal page, and a lot of people like that I've known are not very energetically keen, spiritually minded, whatever, so I just want to make sure that people understand, but I don't want to sound redundant to those of you that do know what the hell I'm talking about. So anyway, I've worked with her and I've studied with this mentor for the last 2 years, and then actually for 2 months I worked for her where I sold her coaching packages. So I got an opportunity to really hone in my sales techniques, especially selling coaching packages, because you're selling an intangible potential, which really puts somebody into the driver's seat of their own life and really asks them, like, do you want this transformation? Because if so, it requires a commitment from you that, yes, I could give you all the tools, I could give you energetic modalities, I could give you accountability, and I could give you the ass kicking, and I could give you all the beautiful, flowery, spiritual inspiration in the world, but until you actually have this commitment from the inside, like, nothing is going to happen. And this has been my most biggest shift. So I worked for her, and then there was a separation, which I feel I'm going to do in another live stream, because I want to go into a lot of energetics of that, of what happened there. There was a separation, so I no longer work for her. However, I still utilize the teachings that I have learned in my own business, in my own life, and in every single thing that I do now. I ask myself to audit every single one of my choices, my reactions, my triggers, my beliefs, and the actions that I take or do not take throughout the day. And this is the kind of work that I now do with my clients, especially those, like I said, who are spiritually inclined and are starting their own spiritual creative visions. And this is including, not limited to, coaches, consultants, energy healers, web designers, creators, videographers, branding specialists, etc. So those are the people that I work with now. However, recently I've had more of an influx of people from my personal life reaching out to me about this modality and asking, like, okay, you have transformed so much. I feel your authoritative energy. Like, what's going on? I want some of this. So here's what I'm here to tell you. Like, I have chased, you guys, over the last 2 years, every single mentor, healer, whatever, under the sun. To those of you that know me personally know I've always been inspirational, if you will, and I've always been spiritually inclined, and I've always had this power to inspire people to do things like travel, to go snowboard, to go try different lifestyles. Like for me personally, I live in Colorado 6 months out of the year, and right now I live on Maui 6 months out of the year. So, living life in a very on the fringes type of way that most people don't think to do, and that I have been called lucky for. And why is because I don't take no for an answer. So over these last 2 years, it has become my mission to begin a location independent business. What has started instead, I had no idea what kind of a spiritual shit show I would be put through as a result of this. If you guys have any questions as I'm babbling away, please feel free to ask. I'm just really wanting to share this story, and I really want you guys to know what kind of willpower it has taken and is continuing to take in every single moment of the day to actually make this dream a reality. Doing this live stream right now and sharing it in a group of 4,000 people, as well as 1,000 plus friends on here that may or may not see this, is somewhat fucking terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, but these are the kind of things that I'm being asked to do, to show up in a more powerful way in the world. Okay, so over the last 2 years, I have chased mentors, healers, intuitives, thinking that somehow, some way, somebody has the magic fucking pill that's gonna go ahead and show me how to run a spiritual business that is based on my spiritual gifts or whatever, right? That I could then charge for and include in my packages of the kind of work that I do with people now. And the biggest lessons that I have learned, there is no magic pill. There is no magic pill. And the biggest magic pill, you guys, I'll give you the secret right now, is your own fucking will. It's your own will to, in every single day, audit and look at every single choice, decision, and every single thought that comes in and out of your brain, because your brain is in your control. Your brain is your bitch, and you can actually exert control on it and choose what kind of thoughts come in and out. For some of us, it's harder than others. Like myself, I am a chronic overthinker, and I have such huge anxiety. If Lee is watching right now, and some of you that know me personally can attest to this, but if I can do this and control what kind of thoughts come in and out of my existence, then so can you. And that is the biggest magic pill that separates you from your successes. The other one, you guys ready? The other magic pill that I have learned, the most shortest distance between the 2 points of where you are and where you want to be, is a lie that you then have to transmute into truth. That is it. And what is truth and what is a lie? That is up to you to figure out and decide. However, a lot of us are living in such a heavy state of an illusion, of such a heavy state of stories that we pick up from either our mentors, our parents, generations prior to us, our friends, our grandparents, whatever. We pick up all of these beliefs and all of these stories from wherever. And we love, as a nation especially, to commiserate on that. I'll give you an example. I've lived in California, Colorado. I live on Maui now, and people are like, oh, it's so expensive. And hey, guess what? I'm making it work. It's really not that bad. but shh, don't tell anyone. Like we pick up these stories that we actually like know nothing about. Like people that have never even lived on Maui or California have told me like, oh, it's expensive. And like until you go there and figure this out for yourself and do the thing, you're going to continue believing that story until you install like a new story into your brain. And that is the other magic pill that I have discovered, is what kind of stories do you want to hardwire energetically into this thing and into this whole thing and into your life? Because this is what creates your physical surroundings around you and what creates your physical sensations and feelings within you. So it has taken me $13,000 and 2 years to figure out something so esoteric, right? That we hear ages of the sages and sages for the ages speak to us and tell us these things, oh, your thoughts create your reality and be gratitude in the present fucking moment or whatever else. And the thing is, like, until you actually like embody that, until you fully embody that and install that into your system, like you will not like fully get it. You can read it on your Instagram inspirational posts, all day long, but until that actually gets installed into your being and into your system, you will not believe it. And hence why like this really potent modality that I have learned, that I now utilize as a basis, as a foundation to work with people. So shadow alchemy, to those of you who are watching and know what shadow alchemy is so fucking powerful, but it is beyond just like, oh, I have a shadow. It is literally taking audit of every single choice, every single value of yours, and every single decision that you make in any given moment of how you show up in your life. Those of you that are watching, please say hi. This is meant to be kind of like a merger live stream between my current spiritual world and what I'm doing in my spiritual business, as well as my personal network, who is like very fucking confused about the things that I post online. So please say hi. Please ask me questions as I'm hammering off about these inspirational, beautiful fucking things. So hi, Scotty, what's up? So I have like a really important message on victimhood and failure, because, okay, throughout most of the time throughout my life, like things have manifested pretty easily, I want to say. Like things have just like worked out, and I've always like managed to like receive the things that I wanted in my life, except for this one dream. And like I said, when I first started like the path of this business, of pursuing a spiritual business, when I first started my first class on how to make it a reality, I like had no idea what kind of a class would actually start. Over the last 2 years, I have been asked to really like audit and take a look of how I'm showing up in my life. And here's a really important message on victimhood and just how much around me I see this, of just how much people place their circumstances and the power to change them outside of themselves always, as a nation. Whether we place it on the president or our friends or our family or our money situation, whatever, we constantly fall a victim to it instead of employing our never-ending creativity, because it is innovative in getting us out of these spaces into better ones of our realities that we desire. Okay, and this is like the biggest reframe, that in any given moment, whenever you feel like you failed or whenever you feel like you've victimized, like the only thing that separates you between you and the next choice is a reframe of your thoughts, and then acting from there and allowing yourself to take actions that are uncomfortable as fuck, such as this live stream right now, and allowing yourself to always go for the things that you want as if your life depended on it. Like, do you love yourself that much to actually give yourself the things that you desire? So for me, it's to live here on Maui. For me, it's to have this spiritual business, and I will not take no for an answer. I am already, my tab is at like $13,000 of investments, and that includes coaching, consulting, that includes courses, that includes my pretty laptop, that includes all of the above, right? And I will not take no for an answer. I am nowhere near done, and I will continue. And like I said, it wasn't up until these last 3 months that I've finally started to see like an energetic as well as a financial return on all of these investments. And this has been the biggest reframe, is actually placing myself into this radical responsibility of my life, of my choices, of my thoughts, of my actions, and how I show up in every single moment of my life. And there has been a lot of like denouncement to those of you who are in Masters of Energy Alchemy or in my personal network of shadow alchemy as a modality. There has been a lot of like iffiness around it, and here's what I have to say about it. The reason why I feel people denounce it is because two reasons. A, because they're not actually using it in accordance to their own standards and their own values and their own individuality, that they actually become yet another copycat of their mentor. And B, because they are too afraid of actually taking a look in themselves in the mirror and asking themselves, what is the truth here? What is the truth here as far as like, is this something that I value? Is this something that I want? Is this coming out of me or someone else's voice? And this is when shadow alchemy, whenever like employed in that powerful way, to actually utilize it for your own individual pursuits, for your own individual businesses, etc., that is when it has the most potent power. It is beyond going shadow by shadow by shadow. It is literally a tool that is meant for you to take audit of every single aspect of your life. That is what it's actually meant to do. And that is why a lot of people, I feel, start whining and denounce it. And that is why a lot of people start being like, oh man, this is just like too much and my mentor is being a bitch to me, is because of this reason. So that's what I'll say about that. Let's see, what else do I have for you guys? Integrity. This is the other message that I wanted to share before I hop off, is the whole definition of what it means to be in integrity. When it comes to creating the life that you want, how you show up and the things that you expect of yourself are the kinds of things that are then going to present themselves to you. So for me, like, things have always been like easygoing and flowy when it comes to like party lifestyle and snowboarding or whatever, because those kinds of things are pretty easy and easygoing. When it comes to like creating a business, in the way that I need to show up, it needs to completely change, right? Because no, I can't just show up like drunk or hungover or whatever if I'm running a spiritual business. So the kind of way that I am required to then show up is the kind of reality that I will attract towards me. So for instance, are the kinds of clients that I will then attract towards me, is the kind of income that I will then attract towards me, and are the kinds of relationships, if I stay in integrity and in responsibility of how I show up. For instance, like, I wanted to do my makeup and my hair because I value like looking cute and I value being presentable, especially in front of camera. So, I had to like take a moment to do that, even though I'm about to go to the gym here in the next hour. I'm like, man, why am I doing my hair and makeup? But you see, that is how, for me, I'm like, all right, what is the next version me will require of myself to show up in that kind of way in order for me to run this business? There's a couple of things, like presentable, be on time, be fearless, be willing to be uncomfortable and take actions that normally would terrify the fuck out of people, such as doing this live stream both here on my personal page and then sharing it in a group of 4,100 people. That's fucking terrifying, you guys. Like, it is fucking terrifying. This is not very comfortable to do right now. But these are the kinds of actions that I am then like being asked to show up in that kind of a way if I want this kind of reality to then match me. So being in integrity means like how you show up and taking radical responsibility for your own actions. So for instance, like, if I value cleanliness, what kind of things can I do around the house to make sure it's clean? If I value, if I value this kind of responsibility for my own emotions and my own money and this kind of resourcefulness, then the kind of clients that I want will show up and mirror that to me. And I've seen the opposite, you guys. Like, I've seen flaky clients because I've been flaky before. I've seen clients that did not complete contracts because, well, shit, I've done that myself before too. And this is the kind of things that happen. So like, whenever people start denouncing any kind of like personal development work, whether it be shadow alchemy or whether it be any other coach, like, this is usually what it comes down to, is they're not actually wanting to be in their own integrity. Because a new level requires a new devil, if you will, for you to really kind of reincorporate and rethink and reevaluate and audit certain things and make some changes in your mind and in your physical behaviors. And then from there, you create this like kinetic energy from where the universe or God or your higher self or whatever it is that you subscribe to can then meet you and provide you with these kinds of manifestations. There are mirrors to you. Notice how like certain people are always, you know, in some sort of a drama or a crisis, and notice the kind of things that they're constantly thinking or talking about, right? It's the same thing, and it's the same thing. And as you get more and more into this kind of journey of spiritual entrepreneurship, there is not a lot of room for these things to fall through the cracks. People are becoming more and more evolved and more intuitive, especially to notice you and to know who you are in an online space and to feel your energy through your fucking marketing posts. Okay, like there's not a lot of wiggle room, if at all, for you to be out of your own integrity. And what that looks like to you may not be the same as me, but the most important thing for you is to take radical responsibility, and this is my biggest message for you guys today, is to take radical responsibility for how you show up in every single aspects of your life, whether it be your relationships, whether it be your own triggers and emotions of how you handle them before you ever place responsibility for any of that onto somebody else. Before you ask for help or before you ask a question, is there something you can do to be responsible for finding that answer? Before you ask somebody for money or say you can't afford something or make some sort of excuse, is there something that you can do in that moment to take that and turn it around and place the responsibility of said action or thought back onto yourself? In any given thought or moment of when you say like, I want to do this, but is there something that you can say to yourself or do in that moment to place the responsibility of making that happen? Love yourself enough to give yourself the things you desire at all costs necessary, no matter what, at all times. So that's my biggest message, is taking radical responsibility for every thought, every question that you have, any money like issue that you have, anything really, in any given circumstance. If you start doing, and if you just start implementing this one thing, you guys, I promise you will see shifts. During arguments with your significant other, if you're frustrated at them, ask yourself, how can I take responsibility for this in this moment? What can I do to alleviate the situation? If there's, cleanliness in the house type issue, what can I do to make sure that the situation is better right now? What can I do to make sure that my dream comes true? What can I do to make sure that I have the things I want now? What can I do right now to make sure that I'm closer to my goals? So that is my final message from all of the things that I have just hammered off. That, you guys, there is no magic pill about manifesting your desires or about creating the reality of your dreams. Yes, there's energetic and spiritual principles, and yes, I channel now, and yes, I'm very keenly sensitive and intuitive, but there is no magic pill that will replace this, that will replace action, that will replace responsibility, and that will replace this kind of thought pattern in every single moment. So, on that note, I am going to drop a couple links. If you want more of these kinds of videos, I have a totally free group where you could find me explaining more business type principles specifically for spiritual entrepreneurs. If you're interested in starting your own, I just did an amazing 4-day training with a bonus day that includes like your personal brand identity and brand messaging. If you're not quite sure what to even do, then I am including fear transmutation and this model of shadow alchemy that I have learned. That's going to be day 3. Day 2 was all about your language and how you use authoritative language in order to bring the things that you want into existence. And then I finally have day 4, which is all about taking action from where you are right now and taking fearless action from where you are right now. So that's day 4. And then I have a bonus day for stopping the chronic overthinking syndrome. So that's day 5, and that's all in the group that I just dropped down. And if you're interested in learning more about how to work with me or what is it that I'm up to, I am going to drop a call for you guys or drop a link to schedule a call. It costs you nothing right now for you to talk to me to see what kind of options are available for you, and what are the things that you're even interested in, and how I can help you in pursuing, and how I can help you in actualizing your dreams, whether it be your entrepreneurial dreams or your personal development goals. So So I'm placing that over here. To those of you that are watching the replay, please say replay. And I hope you enjoyed my inspirational rant for you today. And I will talk to you all soon. Cheers. Aloha.